I just thought I'd do an update. It's been a little bit. I'm still reading The End of Reason by Ravi Zacharias, but I realized that if I continue my response series the way I am, going section by section, it's going to take forever. It's going to be like a 90-part series. I don't know if you can see the mark there, but I'm not even halfway into it. So I think what I'm going to do is just read the book. Finish reading it, and then at the end, when I'm done, I'll just make a big review video. However, he does lay out his argument in the first few sections, and all he's been doing is expanding upon that. The points of his argument being atheism doesn't answer big questions, ultimate questions, like how did the universe come to be. Of course, atheism, it doesn't claim to answer those questions. Atheism is just a disbelief in God. Then there's atheists are immoral, a statement which is contradicted by the existence of moral atheists, the demonstrable existence of moral atheists. And third, atheism makes people feel bad. You know, atheism might cause depression, might cause suicide. This is not an objective fact, or not an objective statement. It's an appeal to consequences, which has nothing to do with the facts. So all he's really been doing is building on that, and it doesn't look like the way the book is going, he's really going to say anything else other than that. Of course he may, so I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to give you a review. I did recently have an encounter with some Jehovah's Witnesses I wanted to tell you about briefly. Most of the time, a Jehovah's Witness, usually it's two guys, clean-cut guys, young guys, white button-downs, black jeans or dress pants, rather, black dress pants, backpacks, and pedaling around on bikes. This time, however, the people that came to my door, there was a young woman, a little bit younger than me, an older woman, and a little child, a tow-headed boy, probably about 5 years old, I'm guessing. The young woman, whose name was Lauren, asked me if I thought there would ever be a time without war. And I told her that I thought there would be, and I thought that there had been, you know, in the billions of years before humans. Yes, there was no war. There was conflict, but there was no war. And after we were gone, there would also be no war. So we got into a little bit of a discussion. I told her I was an atheist. It was a very nice discussion. She was a very pleasant young woman. And I mentioned Epicurus. And when she asked me how I became an atheist, I told her the whole long story, which I may do here someday. And I brought up Epicurus, the riddle of Epicurus. And she gave me this book called What Does the Bible Really Teach? And she marked a chapter, chapter 11, Why Does God Allow Suffering? And the gist of this chapter is that God isn't in charge of the world. God isn't the ruler of the world. Satan is the ruler of the world, and that's why they're suffering. It obviously doesn't satisfy as an explanation. Why would God allow Satan to rule the world? If God wants everything to be good, everyone to be happy, and for us to have free will and for us to worship Him, why doesn't He just create a world in which that's happening? Why does He feel the need to allow there to be conflict and Satan and evil and all that? Plus, God sits up in heaven and He looks down in hell, and there are people burning for eternity, suffering, screaming, and He doesn't pull them out. You know, he just says, well, they deserve it. That's the end result of not doing what I say, not believing in me. And how is that moral? That's not mentioned. It's not discussed in the chapter. I haven't read the whole book. It's got interesting sections like how Satan's world will be removed and where did Jesus come from, stuff like that. A perfect example for parents. The Bible is definitely not. So this is very interesting. I'm going to finish reading that as well, probably after The End of Reason. And Lauren, the Jehovah's Witness, told me she was going to come back and talk to me Apparently she has come back a few times, but I've either been out of the house or asleep because she comes by very early. So I found this slipped under my door fairly recently. It's Awake magazine. You've all probably seen these, produced by the Watchtower people. Is Atheism on the March? And it's just a magazine. I haven't really found that article, the Atheism on the March article. There is, however, the macadamia nut, Australia's native delicacy. Interesting stuff. And no mention of God. Fascinating. Anyway, on the back of this publication, it mentions a book, a 32-page, tastefully illustrated brochure called The Bible. What is its message? And it refers to a colorfully illustrated final page of this brochure entitled The Bible's Message, an Overview, which I find to be very, very odd that they're going to take one page of a brochure to give us an overview of the message of the entire Bible. And if you can sum it up that way, I mean, how is that not just the interpretation of this organization? You know, why should we believe their overview, you know, as opposed to any other Christian sect's overview? And second, I mean, if you can sum it up in one page in a brochure, why didn't God do that? You know, why a whole giant book 2,000 years ago? I mean, you know, why doesn't he update it? Why aren't there revised editions? Why hasn't he distilled it down to one page in a brochure yet? But I just thought that was very interesting. So I haven't encountered Lauren. I haven't gotten anything else from her. But if I do, you can bet that I will tell you all about it. All right, thanks for watching. There's more to come. I'll finish the book, and I'll give you a review after that. Thanks.